This conference will now be recorded.
So welcome to Mulesoft sessions. As I introduced myself yesterday, since today is the first session, I just want to introduce myself. Any new person is there or anyone watching the video. I'm Sujit. I'm having total almost 14 years of experience in IT. I worked in Java, Spring, Hibernate, and I worked on a 3 and now in Pure. I'm an international corporate trainer for Mule 4. I handle around 154 batches. This is my 150th batch, 155th batch actually. Yeah. So, few points I just want to discuss before starting of the session. I hope you will support me in that as well. First point, if you don't have background noise, keep on unmuting your mic. And I mean, by default, keep unmute your mic. If any background noise is there, if any uncomfortable is there, I will let you know. You can mute the mic at that point of time. Yes. Right? So because a session should be an interactive sessions. Our session should be an definitely an interactive sessions. As I told yesterday in the demo session, if there is no interaction, you might have watched videos also in the self-paced, right? So that is not a great idea. I recommend everyone to answer my questions. Please participate. It's not like a session. I'm only delivering the concept. You are just listening. No, it's not. It should not be like that. It should be like a discussion. Then you will get a lot of interest in the concept, right? So the first point is interaction is very important. Okay, I will be keep on asking the questions every second to make you engage. So there is no right wrong answers here. Okay, whatever you feel and whatever you comes to your mind, please put it in the forum. If it is correct, well and good. If it is not correct, we will correct it. Nothing wrong in that, right? So please participate, please interact. Okay, that is one. And second point is on daily basis, starting from when I start practical scenario, on daily basis I will be giving some assignments. Definitely you need to go through that assignments, and at least half an hour to 1 hour you need to spend after the session, before or else before coming to the next session. Okay, in case if any emergency, if you're not able to do that, at least in that week, whatever the concepts we covered, by the next week you need to complete it without fail. Because if you piled up the sessions like that, and finally it will looks like a recorded videos only finally. Okay, so there is no use. At least daily half an hour to 45 minutes if you spend, that will be great effort. At the same time you will feel the difference in you from day 1 to day 30. Definitely I can say that, right? And you can take the certification also immediately after the training. No need to wait along. Like, we are humans. If you not practiced after the sessions, if you want to write a certification also, again you need to revise all the videos, which will be 10 times additionally you need to work at that point of time, right? So my simple request, daily basis, attentively listen to the session and practice according to the instructions what I am giving. Please don't practice by watching the video. Again I'm telling, that is a bad practice. Don't practice by watching the video is given for a your understanding purpose of a concept. Whatever I taught in the session, you should understand. Sometimes one person may understand in a one go, some other person may go, it may take 5 times. So like that, you repeat the videos so that you'll get an idea. Now you can go to the documentation. As I told, I will be providing the documentations to you today, who are paid and confirmed. I will be providing all these documentations to you. And daily basis, every topic, you need to open the document. I said you need to treat this document as a requirement, and you need to start practicing from the scratch on a particular concept. So you need to get a full-fledged hands-on experience on a particular POC. These all are POC, I can say. Okay, so that is how you will be getting a fully hands-on experience on this tool. Is it clear to everyone? Good to go. Good to go. Shall we
Yes.
move on?
Yep.
This is my first question to everyone. I'm just checking how many of you guys are responding. Yes. I mean, learn the sessions with fun. Don't take that in very serious way. Not required. Just learn the sessions in a funny way. We are there here to help you. I'm there to help you out like that, right? So yeah, whenever you have a question, immediately you can raise your hand, and you can ask me the question. Okay, no need to wait till the end of the sessions. Always, if whenever you have a query, please ask me then and there itself. Okay. Yeah, these are the things I just want to do's and don'ts in a session. I want to tell before starting. Yeah, I can see a new participant, Vivek. Hi, Vivek. Is it audible?
Hi Sujit. Hi Sujit. Hi
Hi.
everyone.
Hi. So, have you gone through my demo video, Vivek?
Yeah, I've gone through your demo video. I think Jessie is her name. She shared me the video link and I
Okay.
went through it. Yeah.
Okay. Then you are also on the same page like others who joined yesterday. Okay, then not a problem. So today we are going to start with our first session. I'm not going to take much time for you today. Today is the first session, right? I don't want you to sit for 1 hour, but we discuss very important concept, and I'm keeping the person as a non-IT person in my mind. As I told you, I will treat everyone as zero in Mulesoft, or else no, everyone zero in the integration platform, and I will start everything from the scratch. Okay. So, what are the prerequisites I told yesterday in order to learn this tool? Yes, your questions are started. You need to unmute the mics and please
Yes.
respond.
Sujit, you have mentioned about knowing the basics of web services to some
Perfect.
extent, XML and Java and JSON.
XML and a JSON. Okay,
JSON, yes.
so these are the formats. If you go to YouTube, there are a lot of information provided. Just you need to browse it. Okay. Now I will try to explain at least the overview of web services. Okay. Tell me now, how many of you are aware of web services? I will any choose. I will explain in my style. But before that, I just want to understand how many of you are aware of web services.
I am aware, Sujit. Shalini here.
Shalini, right? Yeah, yeah. I can
Yeah,
see
me
the
too.
mic. Okay, okay. What about others? Divya, Nisha, Pravalika, Vivek?
No.
No. Okay, no
Yeah, I'm
problem. Yeah.
also aware about it. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
What is your? Okay, I will take an introduction about yours in the last. Okay. In which case I need to understand what background you're coming from and all. So everyone will come to know each other. Yes, please. So, Divya, any idea about web services?
yes.
Okay. Okay, we have a mixture of people like few people know, few people not aware, but no problem. I'll try to explain in a very layman language, so that will be a brush up for you as well. So, my first question to everyone: what is a web service? How you can define a web service in your own? Yes, how you can define a web service? If you go to browser and if you just type for web service, what is the information you'll get? What is the statement you will get over there? Yes, please. Participation is very, very important.
So it
Sorry to
is
say
like
this.
a
One second.
sorry.
Sorry to say this. Going forward, if I don't get the answers of a particular topic already which I discussed, and if you are not up to the mark, I may cancel the session on a particular day. I'm very sorry for that, because my intention is everyone to know the concepts. How will I come to know how whether you are aware or not? Only by you are responding to me, right? We have very less people in this batch, actually. I can say around 7 people only, right? So it's like a discussion only, huh? So please understand my situation here. Yeah, yeah. What is a web service?
So a web service is a messaging system between two, uh, I can say, devices or software applications which are available over internet, and they can
Over an
use
internet.
messaging. Yeah.
Over an
Yeah,
internet. I got a word. Internet. Okay. Any other lines?
data communication over the internet.
Communication. I heard a word called communication over an internet again. Okay, that's it. A service provided over a web. That service called web service. Simple. Okay. Okay. Let's take. There are two people. There are two people. One person knows Spanish language. One person knows Chinese language. Okay, they want to communicate with each other. How they will communicate? What are the ideas? Uh, we'll come to know immediately. What are the ideas coming into the picture if they want to communicate with each other?
There should be a translator in between both of them.
So yeah, translator is one idea. Next,
Communication channel.
communication channel is like a translator only, I can say.
There should be a common platform which both can understand.
Again, platform again comes under translator only. Common language like English, will it helpful?
Yes, something like yes.
Yeah, common language like English can helpful. Okay. So now apply the same concept for applications. Simple. Let's take, there is an application A. This is a web application. Web application. And the language in that web application used is Java. Okay. Now there is one more application B. It's a web application again. The language they are using, they are having a different services, and that service is written by using a .NET language. So two different languages like Spanish and Chinese, right? Now application A want to communicate with application B. In technically I can say application A want to integrate with application B. After integrating with that, and it is going to use the service present in that. Let's take the service is A, or else I will call that as X service. The service name is X. So from the application A, I want to use means technically I use a word called consume. So I want to consume this service X, which is written in different language. So if I apply this concept here, what are the ways that application A and application B can communicate? What represents a translator? What represents a common language here? We
Mm,
required some interface between these two, correct?
yes.
No, yes, no, guys. We
Yes.
required some interface between what? These two applications. So these two applications are programming applications. So can I consider that as an application program interface? Yeah. Now
Yeah.
this I will call that as a API. API, application program interface. How this API will be created? I required some common language. So application A or application C, any application which is going to integrate with application B should understand what are the services present inside the application B. So that should be exposed to the outside world. I'm using a technical word called expose. So that application B, whatever the services present inside that should expose to the outside world, to the other applications in a common format. So this application program interface is created by using some common language. So how that common language, what is that common language, and by using what tool we can create that common language? Yes. Can I use web service? Someone raised the hand. Sorry, I didn't saw that.
Sorry, I have a different question on
Yes, please.
exposing. Yeah, does exposing mean allowing the other system to access the information?
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
Exposing the services means, for example, there is an application B in that service called X, and it is written by using a .NET language. So how, I mean, this Java language application can able to understand how it is written in .NET B application? No, right? So some
Okay.
common format, universally acceptable format required to expose that service. So what is that common format? How we can create that common format? With the help of web services. So there are two type of common formats across. What are the two type of common formats?
XML and JSON.
XML and J.
Sorry, not formats. I mean to say there are two type of web services, correct? So
REST and
what are the
SOAP.
two? I mean, we can create that common language with the help of web services I told. So what are the two type of web services we have? One is
Ref.
SOAP
So
and one is
rest.
REST.
REST and
So
SOAP.
yeah. So what is the full form of SOAP here? Simple Object Access Protocol. No need to remember the definitions. Understand the concept is more than enough. Okay. And REST, representation, state,
State.
transfer. Okay. So these are the two type of web services we have. With the help of these two type of web services, we can create some common format. Okay. Now let's assume this application B is using REST as a web service. REST as a web service to expose this application B, sorry, to expose that service X service to the outside world. So tell me how, if you are designing a REST API for this application B, how this entire logic will be mapped in the REST. Generally, in a REST application, what information will be present? Method and a resource, right? So I will configure a method, one of the method get and resource like /x. So this language is mapped to service called X. So when client means application A, when it is sending a request to application B, which is a REST application, how they will send a request? Get is the method. What is the endpoint? /x. Of course, the domain where the application B is running, one port number, what is the where is the host, all this information will be provided in this API itself. So finally, what you understood from this API, this is an front end or front face of the application B in a universal format, so that my application A will come to this API and it will understand whatever the language is present. Based on that, it will send a request to application B. Right now, application A is sending a request to application B like this, and my application B will execute the logic and give the response back. Similarly, there is an application C. If they want to communicate with application B and consume service X, what is the URL they will send? What is the request they will send now? Tell me. Again, get method and the domain of that application B where it is running and /x. So method and the endpoint. In a REST API, we will be having a method and a endpoint. If application B is exposing as a SOAP service, what information will be present in that API? In which format the API will be created? If it is a SOAP,
XML.
X.
XML. Everything will be in a XML format only. So root text, get all products request, get product by name request, get all products response, get product by name. All the XML tags will be provided in the API, not the logic. Logic gets in the backend in the application B. Okay. So what is a web service? Now again, what you understood from this picture? What is a web service? Is it like a common language, I can say, of a
Yeah.
particular application so that anyone can consume that service? Of course, the security features, all these things will be there. We are not touching on that. But if they want to communicate, API is required. How that API will be created? With the help of web services. Let me give more information about, or by giving one more example. Common example, everyone gone through that already by this time. Let's take you. You are a customer. Went to one restaurant. Went to one restaurant. Okay. Now, there is a chef behind the scenes who will prepare the food. Okay, I'm not good at drawings, please bear me. Okay, who is chef preparing the food? Okay, he can prepare any kind of food. Now when you go to restaurant, how you will order that you want to eat a chicken biryani? How you will tell to chef that you want to eat a chicken biryani? Will you go to chef and tell, put some rice, put some chicken, put some masala and all? Will you tell the process? Or will you name the dish? Simple
We
question
just
only.
named the dish.
We will name the dish, right? So from where, I mean, what and all of the items are available in that restaurant? How you will come to know?
Reading the
Based
menu?
on based on a menu card. Let's take this is a menu card. This is a takeaway restaurant, okay? Not a dining restaurant. Please understand. It's a menu. In that menu, every dish is mapped with some name, like chicken biryani, like paneer tikka, something like that. Okay. If I am a customer, I don't know how to prepare that food definitely, right? So I know how to eat it, how to consume it, right? So I will go to the restaurant and I will see the menu option and I will place the order based on the name. Is it process written? Is that process written how to prepare a chicken biryani anywhere in the menu?
No.
No, right?
No.
No. So you just go and order chicken biryani based on that name. Entire process is mapped to the chicken biryani, right? My chef will prepare that biryani and he will serve back to me and I will consume. Correct? Yes or no? So in this example, which point you can refer to application A, API, and application B? Tell me. The choice is yours.
Customer is one of the first application.
Can I say application A?
Yeah,
Yes. Chef is application B.
application B.
Yes. That means you know how to prepare a chicken biryani and paneer tikka, all the process you know. So that means all the services are written here. That language, do you know? As a customer, do you know how they will prepare? How they have written the logic? Are you aware?
No.
No,
No.
not aware. So as a customer, just you are going to place some order. Okay. Based on what we required some menu, which is exposed by application B. So this is a menu code is an API. So for example, let is an X is a service. What return the logic inside that we don't know. That is mapped to get and a slash X. Okay, like a chicken biryani. So now as a customer A, what I will do, I will send a get slash X. So I'm able to read this. I'm able to read what is written in the API. I'm able to read what is written in the menu card. I will simply place based on the name. So what is mapped to that slash X? The service written in a B application. So they will prepare the food. That means they will execute the logic and they will give the response back. They will give the biryani to consume. Are you able to relate it this example? The web service example here. API. Basically, I mean to say about an API, how the API will work here. Yes, no?
Yes.
Who under are from, I mean, especially people from non-IT background, I just want to get some response from them. Is it understand? I mean, did you understand in a high level overview?
No, Sujit, I get it, but not to the full extent. The APIs are the ones who are fulfilling the need of both the
Hmm.
parties. But what
Hmm.
is the precise difference between a web service and an API? Do we call the whole
In my
process as web service?
in my in my perspective, both are same. We can create this
Okay.
API with the help of web service.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So that slash x, this format, this get method slash x, this is a REST format. That means this API is creating with the help of RAML in this case, RESTful API modeling language. Let me give some differences between REST and SOAP also here. You know the definition already, the abbreviation for that. Representation state transfer and the simple object access protocol. Okay. And tell me, in the REST application, what is the language we are going to use in order to design?
Ramal,
Common language across
Ramal.
used? RAML. So again, there is a definition for RAML. Definition is abbreviation. What is that? No idea?
No.
REST. We are going to create what type of API? REST API. So RESTful we are going to create an API, right? Modeling means create. What you are creating? API, right? Create means, again, I have written create. Actually, it is a, what is that? Modeling. And L represents language. So we are going to create a REST API by using this language. So you can remember the concepts in this way. Okay. So nowhere it is defined. You need to remember like this. Just I will think in this way. RESTful API modeling language. And when you come to SOAP, what is that?
WSDL.
WSDL. That means web service description language. Both are L represents language only. So description, it will describe about that entire application. Okay. So SOAP is a web service which, which will describe about that application by using this language. Web service description language. Okay. And what is the format, input or output format in REST or SOAP? In REST, is there any input or output format defined?
User JSON.
Yes.
REST contains, REST can use JSON only.
XML as well.
Okay. See, there is no standard format we need to use for the REST. That is the flexibility we have in a REST service. But when you come to SYAP,
It should be XML.
it should be it should be in a XML only. In this WSDL file also will be in a XML format. This SOAP application input and output format also will be in a XML format only. Everything will be in a XML only. So when you compare with these two, which is complex to define, which is complex to use?
So
SOAP.
SOAP is the complex one. Even because if you want to perform any small arithmetic operation like 2 plus 3 also, we require to know how to define the header, how to define the body. We need to wrap up the body in a SOAP envelope. Entire information should be provided in the SOAP, but not in a REST, not required in the REST format. Right? Out of this, complex is SOAP. And when you compare with REST and SOAP, which is older, which is a legacy, and
SOAP.
which is a new? SOAP is the old one, right? Nowadays, it is very common to see across everyone are creating an APIs by using a REST as a service. That is the reason in our Mulesoft also, your Mule application is going to expose as a REST service. So we are going to talk about the RAML extensively from the starting, from the scratch, from line number 1. And I will tell you the best practices also in order to shorten your RAML file by using some data types, resource types, traits, and some best practices I can say. Right? So we are going to use RAML to design your REST API of your Mule application. Clear? Now I will go back to my same question. Yesterday I asked how many APIs you are able to see in this picture. API means what? Which is exposing the services of particular application to the outside world in a common format so that others can consume that service. So in this picture, who is consuming which service?
The There are three APIs. Orange and
Yeah.
Morningstar are consumed by
I think
DWE.
yesterday also you only gave the answer, right, Shalini? I think so.
Yes,
Correct?
Sujit.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So what about others? Understood? What are the three APIs you
Yeah,
can see here?
we get it. But yesterday Charlie mentioned about transformed API. If I'm not wrong, what is
Pardon?
that?
What? What is it? Transformed
Yesterday,
API.
in her answer, she mentioned about three APIs,
Yeah,
and out of three, one is transformed API. That's what she said, if I'm not
transformed
wrong.
API. Hmm, transformed API. Suddenly we use the
Shalini, you have
same.
mentioned about three APIs yesterday,
So,
right? And you named
so
them. Yeah.
one API is from Orange, one API is from Morning, and there's one common API from the
Middleware.
application
Middleware.
which goes out to Redbus.
So maybe the meaning of the transformed API means again there is a transformer in this application. Maybe she is referring to that.
Okay.
Okay, see this Orange Travels is a one web application. We don't know what language they are using internally to develop that, right? Let's take this is the Java application, and this Morningstar also is creating one web application. We don't know what language. Let's take there is a .NET, and my Mule application is using by Java. Okay, let's take this is not Java language, some other language like Python. Okay, some third generation language. Now they are exposing the services of Orange Travels by using, let's take SOAP as a web service. That means they created an API, SOAP API. Okay, and now they expose this service as a REST API. Okay, Morningstar exposes the REST, SOAP Orange does SOAP. Now from your Mule application, you should know how to write a logic to consume the SOAP application as well as to consume the REST application also. That's what we have in our agenda, consuming a REST, consuming a SOAP. I am going to have two different applications, and from your application, Mule application, you are going to consume that. That means you are writing some logic how to consume the third party APIs. Okay, next you down some logic based on the my Redbus client requirement you have developed. Redbus is also one web application. When they are developing that application, they need to consume my Mule application, right? So how this Redbus application is using some third generation language again, like .NET. Okay, they are using .NET to develop this Redbus application. How that Redbus application is going to consume and consume the service present in my Mule application? Again, my Mule application also should be exposed as a web service. So that is the reason we are using REST as a web service to expose my services to the outside world. So once I create an API and expose, any client, that means Redbus client, can consume that service based on the API. Understand? Now you got clear picture about what is an API? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me simple architecture of any programming language. That means life cycle. Software development life cycle. What are the steps present in it? I'm not talking about what type of people will be there in the organization, or what teams will be there. That will be totally depends on the company to company, perspective to perspective, right? So I just want a general SDLC here.
Get the requirements.
Gathering the requirement,
Yeah. Complete the design. Do the
gather
development.
the
Test
requirement.
the application. Yeah.
One second, slow, we'll go one by one. Once we gather the requirement, we will analyze and we will design, right? We will design. Then
Do the development.
development will come, team will come into the picture to develop the application. Yes.
Test it.
Next, for this development, we need to do
Test the application. Yeah.
testing. Of course, there are a lot
Go
of
for
type of
production.
testing. Developer can do some type of testing. Testing team will do some type of testing. Putting together the testing part. Next,
Go for the production.
Documentation.
documentation will be done at the first step itself.
Okay.
Yes. After that,
Deployment.
deployment, right? Directly
Yeah.
deployment. Of course, in the development environment you can deploy, in the UAT environment you can deploy, in the production environment you can deploy. Yeah. Here admin will come into the picture. Sometimes in our some organizations, admins will come into the picture. In some organizations, in the startup companies, we will be acting as everything. So in the pre-production environment as well, right? So yeah, next, if you want to secure and if you want to manage that application, you need to apply some security policies. So this is a typical structure of any SDLC, right? And one more point actually I missed out here in the design. After the design, before going to the development, we need to get a feedback whether we are designing correctly or not. So we will simulate this API with sample data. Okay, we will simulate with sample data, and then it will go for a development. In the development, again, a lot of steps will be, a lot of stages will be there to get a feedback from the client. If you are using agile methodology, you know, sprints and all. Okay, I don't want to discuss about all that activities. We will discuss about only Mulesoft development side, right? So uh, at the end, we are going to create one banking application. In that application, we will gather the requirement, we will design the API by using a RAML, and then we will simulate the API in the design while you are designing itself. And that we will implement that implementation in the AnyPoint Studio to develop the application. After that, we do the testing by using an Emulate framework, and then we will deploy the applications into the different environments, different type of deployment strategies we will see. After that, we will apply some security policies as well, right? So, but our my training is little bit different. We will not go in a sequence till I reach to the banking application. As a developer, much time we need to concentrate and spend on development area. So what type of develop? Of course, there are 300 plus modules are there. Sorry, not 300, around 200 plus modules are there in Mule, right? We cannot explore all. So that's the reason I have taken a types of integrations here. Types of integration. What are the types of integration? One is web service based integration, where you'll come to know how to consume a REST and what is a how to consume a SOAP application. Next is file based integration. If you understand about the file, you will come to know about FTP, SMTP as well. Next, one more type of integration, system based integration. That means we are going to connect with a database system, and I'm going to use MySQL as a database vendor here. Next is any other JMS based integration. We are going to connect with a queues and a topic, and we are publishing the messages and consuming the messages at the same time, topics as well, right? So types of integrations we are going to discuss. If you are aware of all these development strategies, you should be in a position at the time. Once you complete that, you should be in a position to read the documentation of the Mulesoft when the requirement comes. So that is the better idea. You need to know how to fish. You need to know how to fishing, no, not getting the fish directly, right? So you need to know how to use these types of integration base ideas first. Then only you'll come to know when the requirement comes up, what documentation to be read and how to apply that, right? So we'll talk about the development area most of the times. Okay, and then once you develop, once the type of integration is done, once you'll get the data, you need to do the mapping part. That also comes under a development area only, the transformation part I mean to say, by using a data view expressions. So once you complete that, you need to do the testing. So next we'll talk about a testing. So by using some Unit framework, we will do the testing. In between here and there, I will use some deployment strategies. Around 3 deployment strategies we are going to discuss. Out of the 2 deployment strategies, we will discuss upfront, after explaining about 2 concepts, because so that you can, it's a free hand to you can deploy your application in both the ways. You will be having a practice. Last deployment strategy I will tell you after completion of what do you call that, exception handling. Okay, so that you will come to know how to deploy the application on the cloud app environment as well. So this is that mainly we will be concentrating on this area most of the time. When I'm creating a banking application, we will go in a sequence. While I'm explaining the sequence, we will I will explain about the design center, creation of the RAML, sampling the data, and then finally we'll deploy the application and we'll apply the security policies as well. Okay, so I mean to say, as a developer, we will spend most of the time on a development part, development area. Okay, And I recommend um, I mean, it's up to you. I recommend not to watch any YouTube videos until unless you get a full confidence on a particular concept, on a particular topic. Okay, unnecessarily you will get confused. As a human, I mean, we know that we require a lot of knowledge upfront and one go, which is unfair, right? So once you understand the concept from my side thoroughly, once you practice that and if you get a confidence, then only go to some other videos and cross check. I'm not denying that it is wrong. You may get some new points also from other traders also. I'm not denying that. But base idea first you need to get from here. Once you get that, then you can browse and you can do experiments on that. 1 minute, 1 second, guys. Sorry. So understood. Tomorrow onwards we are going to start our first agenda in my session. What is agenda actually? 1 second. Let me pause the screen. Let me open the agenda. We'll talk about point-to-point integrations. And tomorrow I will share, once I get the confirmation from everyone, I will share the documents, everything with you in that tomorrow, so that in the weekend, you can use the time to download up, right? So tomorrow we'll discuss about what is a point-to-point integration, what is an ESB, and how an ESB helps in solving the problem of point-to-point integration, basically. Okay, these are the 4 points I'm going to discuss in tomorrow session, which is, see, from day one, the sessions are very important, very, very important. Please don't skip until unless it is an emergency. Okay, any questions? I mean, Divya, I need to add you to the group. I will add you now. Vivek,
Yeah.
uh, Vivek, just stay back. Others, if you don't have a questions, we can drop off. Pravalika, if you have any questions before proceed,
Okay.
you can ask me. Yes.
Thank you, Sujit. Have a good day.
Thanks, Jed.
Thank you. Thank you.